Phase 1 of the corrective exercise continuum is inhibit overactive muscle spindles. I'll demonstrate this using a foam roller for self-myofascial release. You can see my roller is quite a large diameter and it's relatively soft. As your client progresses, you may wish to use a smaller diameter roller or even a tennis ball to get deeper into the soft tissue. I'll first of all roll the gastrocnemius soleus. One leg crosses over the other, so I'm rolling my left side. Make sure you're holding strong across the shoulder girdle, abdominals engage. Lift the hips and roll until you find the adhesion, and then hold on that adhesion, on the knot, for 30 to 90 seconds, depending on how much the body can handle, basically. You will do one set on one side and then swap over to the other leg and do exactly the same thing. Next is the TFL, which will look like this. And again, you roll until you find the adhesion. There it is. And hold it on there for 30 to 90 seconds. Again, making sure you're strong in the core. After that time, you'll swap over and do the other side. Piriformis. One leg will cross over the other. And you will roll. I'm doing the right side. There it is. And again, as before, you hold for 30 to 90 seconds to release the overactivity of muscle spindles. Phase 2 of the corrective exercise continuum is lengthen. So once the overactive muscle spindles have been deactivated, so to speak, you can start lengthening techniques. First of all, gastrocnemius soleus stretch. I'm stretching my right side, front leg bent, and research has found that with the toe in position, you can target the lateral gastrocnemius. So in terms of this program, that's my target. You will hold the stretch for 30 seconds, swap over to the other side, and hold that for 30 seconds. And one set is enough. The next stretch is the standing TFL stretch. Feet wider than hips width apart, knees a little bit soft, back foot turned out. Again, I'm stretching my right side. Reach that right arm up, side bend over, and then add rotation. Again, you hold for 30 seconds. Release the stretch and swap to the other side. If you have elderly populations, you might wish to hold the stretch for longer, maybe 60 seconds. The next stretch is for the superficial abdominal, so the rectus abdominis, the external obliques, and this is over a ball. And you just reach the arms back, legs are forward. And again, hold it for 30 seconds. Be careful when you come up, make sure you're supporting the head. Fourth and final stretch I'm going to demonstrate is the piriformis stretch, again using the ball. I will be stretching my right side. Left heel onto the ball, right ankle onto the left knee, and draw the left knee in towards you. So you've got approximately 90 at the hip, 90 at the knee, and on this right side you're trying to encourage the right knee out to the side. And again, you hold for 30 seconds, and then you'll swap to the other side, hold for 30 seconds. Once you have inhibited and lengthened the overactive muscles, it's time to activate the underactive muscles. I will demonstrate this using isolated strengthening. The first one is for the isometric core stabilizers. So you come to a quadruped position, so all fours, hands and knees. Check your alignment, knees below the hips, wrists below the shoulders. Make sure you are holding strong from the center. I'm going to reach my right arm, left leg. We reach concentrically for a count of 1. Hold it isometrically for 2 and return slowly eccentrically 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll demonstrate that again, same side. Reach for 1, holding a strong core. Stay for 1, 2. Return eccentrically 1, 2, 3, 4. Ideally, you're aiming for 10 reps to each side. As you start working with a new client though, you may wish to reduce the reps initially, but like I said, your goal is going to be 10 reps. The next isolated strengthening exercise is for the gluteus maximus, and that's going to be prone hip extension. Again, you lift concentrically for 1. You hold for a count of 2 and you return 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll show that again. Make sure the abdominals are engaged to protect the lower back. You lift for 1. Isometric hold 1, 2 and return 1, 2, 3, 4. 10 to the right leg, 10 to the left leg. The next exercise is for the hamstring complex, which is prone knee flexion. So flexing at the knee for 1. Hold the hamstring contraction 1, 2. Return slowly 1, 2, 3, 4. Once more. Concentric 1. Hold isometrically 1, 2. Eccentric return 1, 2, 3, 4. The final isolated strengthening exercise is for the gluteus medius, which is side-lying hip abduction, abdominals engaged. Everything needs to come from a strong core. And again, you lift. You find that isometric contraction, hold it for 2, and return for 1, 2, 3, 4. Once more. Lift and hold. 1, 2, eccentric return. 1, 2, 3, 4. The final phase of the corrective exercise continuum is integration techniques, which is aimed at enhancing the functional capacity of the human movement system. Like with the isolated strengthening, your goal is 10 reps. It can be up to 3 sets of 10 reps. However, as you start working with a new client, you may wish to start with fewer to embed the motor learning. The first exercise is ball squats with overhead press. Fitness ball goes against the wall. Light hand weights. Core engaged. Bend the knees. Straighten the legs. Reach. Return the arms. Bend the knees. Press. Abdominals stay engaged throughout. I'll do one more. elbows to the side, overhead press. The next integration technique is wall jumps. Your starting position is arms overhead. Make sure shoulders are down the back, abdominals engaged. Bend the knees and lift and land. And lift and land. Making sure the spine stays straight. Couple more demos. Lift and land. Last time, lift and land. You want to be checking that your client is landing with their feet parallel. Mine have slightly turned out. So if I was working with myself, I would be telling myself to make sure those feet are coming parallel, make sure I'm aligning the knees with the second and third big toe. The final integration technique is lunge to balance. Again, strong core. Step forward into a lunge. Ideally, you want knees in line with the ankles, knees in line with the hip, and then you lift that back knee and balance. I'll demonstrate again. And lower the foot down. If you want to add challenge, you could add weights and an overhead press onto that as your client progresses. For each of those exercises, you want the movement to be slow and controlled.